Here we go. Now it's back to normal. That's weird. Okay, guys, we're back. We just started a live, and for some reason, it disabled the chat on us because I don't know what's going on recently, but I'm here with Adam's tattoo. There was no chat available for us. I don't know what happened either in the last live. Yeah, we deleted that video. We shut it off. I don't know what happened with the chat, but we're fine now. So Adam just calmed me down. I was like, it's broken. And he told me just to shut it down and start again, and we fixed it. Okay.
All good.
All good.
All right.
You gonna stay like this, or?
Sure. You want to tell your story first?
You're very curious, huh?
Ah, yeah. I mean,
I told Adam right as we were pressing go on this video, I was like, oh, you have a tattoo story. I have a confession and a story about your tattoo that I've never told you. And his whole face dropped and he was like, about my tattoo? And I was like, yeah. And he got awkward.
how do you have a story about my tattoo?
Because one time, you guys all who have a loved one in prison, give me a like if you can understand this problem, issue, whatever. I did not know what to get you for like your birthday or a holiday or something one year. So this was like many years ago. And I was like, I'm gonna get a tattoo for him. And then my thought was, I'm gonna get a tattoo with like a serpent or something in there so we could have matching tattoos. And I reached out to your friend, the tattoo artist. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, can you draw me something similar? And he talked me out of it. He's like, I don't think he likes his tattoo. I think that he would appreciate that, but I don't think it's a great idea.
I'm glad he talked you out of it.
Yeah?
Yeah, that wasn't.
I think they want to see your face.
So I should turn around?
So what do you think of my story? Are you?
I'm glad you didn't get it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm glad.
I mean, I wouldn't get my whole back tattooed, obviously a much smaller version, but.
No.
He said, turn around.
I wouldn't want you to get a snake tattoo. Like, that's crazy.
Okay.
A snake tattoo is not a good tattoo to get. My tattoo started out when I was 18 years old in the county jail. Shortly after I had been arrested, I was young, I was wild, I was getting in a bunch of fights with with other guys in there, and they started calling me one of the young Turks. So my first tattoo was a needle with a piece of thread, a hand-picked tattoo across the back of my shoulder that said Turk, Turk. Yep, 18 years old. That was my first tattoo. And like most people who are young and impulsive when they get their first tattoo, it was not a good job. It was something that I really didn't like. So, what's the rational thing to do, right? When I finally get out and I had some tattoo artist friends, I decide, well, I'm not just going to get it covered up. I mean, I don't do anything halfway, so I might as well get my whole back done, right? I get a whole back piece. And I went to a buddy of mine. He and his girlfriend worked together in this tattoo shop. I went in and there was a lot of drinking, there was a lot of drugs involved. And ultimately between the two of them, they kind of sketched it out, ran it through the machine, plastered it on my back. And in a shop, as opposed to in prison, you can get, a multitude of needles. You get bars, shading bars, and so you can do thick lines. Well, they put this piece, put the stencil on my back, and between the two of them, they start getting to work, and they do the outline. Now, it took them a while to do the outline, and because of the exchange that we were doing for this tattoo, they were happy to be done with just the outline and said, come back, we'll do this piece by piece. So I wound up leaving, and don't you know that I caught this case, didn't get a chance to go back and see them. I wound up in pretrial, and I go through, my trial, my sentencing, and it's not until I end up at Allenwood in a penitentiary where I'm not there. I think I was there 3 days. I'm there 3 days. You got to remember, I'm only 24 years old, 25 at the time. I'm young. I got a rack of time. I got 213 years. These guys, I'm just coming in. They all think, oh man, another crazy young guy. And uh, I'm in with my cellie at the time was this guy, Tony. Tony was from California. Same thing, had like 50 years. So he was in a similar situation to me, but there everybody's got life sentences. It's all crazy time. But as a younger guy, I was out there. So I'm not on the unit 3 days. I'm drinking, I'm running around, you know what I mean, looking for the tattoo guy, trying to get my back done. Because of course I want my entire back done at once. And ultimately that's what I did. What I currently have on my back is the result of sitting 2 days in a row, 17 hours total. Was about 10 hours the first day, 7 hours the second day. Now, for anybody that's had any extensive ink work done, it's the second day, if you try and go back in where it's all raw. And keep in mind, this guy's doing it with one needle, a single needle, to do all this on my back. And this guy was partying at the time, so he was feeling no pain, just 17 hours. Day one, day two, just nonstop. My cellie at the time, I just moved in. I just got there. I've got this dude tattooing on me the whole day for 2 days in a row. This guy can't even get in and out of the cell. He must have been steaming. I'm sure he was. But at the time I wasn't thinking. I didn't. Complete disrespect. But I was happy to get this thing done. However, once it was finished, I was like, you know what? I'm good. That's it. I covered up my little tattoo. I've got this whole back piece done. I'm just going to leave it. For whatever reason, thankfully, I didn't go ahead and get anything else done right away. And I guess over time, I became more and more reluctant until, I finally realized, I was like, man, I definitely, in order for me to, cultivate, I spent all this time educating myself, trying to become more articulate, public speaking, to be able to get out and present. I was very cautious about what I got that was visible. I got, plenty of scars, which thankfully have healed and look a little bit better over the years. But I didn't feel the need to put any other outwards, expressions that might somewhere down the road work against me. So I'm grateful. I was cautious in that regard. Although obviously I had plenty of offers, guys that wanted to do, different pieces. And I thought about it many times, and I just said, once I get out and I'm in a better situation to where, people are always going to be critical. Just where I feel like I have maybe a little bit more control of the narrative. I'm operating from a different position. Now that I'm out, things are very different. And I'm grateful for that. At some point, I would like to get some additional work done, something that is meaningful to me, that has to do with us, the journey that we've been on, the success that we've had. I'm not exactly sure what that looks like yet, but I'm gonna take the time and make sure that it's something that I really want to have for the rest of my life. I'm not going to go into it. I've heard too many people say, well, if I get something I don't like, I'll just get it lasered off. That's not a good philosophy, you know what I mean? And I want to make sure that whatever work I get done, it's from someone that I've developed a rapport with.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great artists out there. And I know, in the last 20 years, so many people have moved from becoming just a tattoo artist to, there's people that go to art school that are, serious, it's a different medium at this point. it's taken much more seriously. There's a lot of competition, amongst all tattoo artists. So I want somebody that really, is proud of their, has invested in their craft, like proud of their work, and somebody that I feel good about, on a personal level, that that I can go in there and be like, listen, this is what I have in mind. This is the concept. Do your thing, because as an artist, people want that freedom of expression.
Mm-hmm.
You can give them the ideas, but man, let them do their thing. So that's what's in my mind. When we get to Vegas, I'm sure we're gonna meet plenty of tattoo artists. We'll have an opportunity to explore that then.
Cool.
You want to get a tattoo with me?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sure.
So we're gonna get a joint tattoo, something.
Figure it out. Want a confession?
I want a confession, but I also want to see if they have any suggestions.
Ooh,
Maybe they can help
let
get
us
us
know in the
started.
comments what you think. Should it be prison related, not prison related? I'm not asking you to answer that right now. I'm curious what they think.
I think it should be us related.
Agreed. I totally agree. I also am grateful that I didn't get a snake tattoo. Did you guys hear what I said? That I didn't get a snake tattoo. I saw a question flash by. It was really good. How did you pay for the prison tattoo? How much did you pay? Can you go into that?
Ooh, that is a great question. Well, I think there's two sides of that coin, right? The great thing about getting someone, an artist who's in prison, is that obviously you're going to pay far less inside than you will when a guy's outside in a shop. However, the downside to that is obviously it's, with the sanitation, like there are things you can do to try and make sure that the quality, that the safety is there, but you're still in prison and you're kind of limited in that regard. That's the only downside. But I mean, realistically, guys have access. They can build incredible guns. They can tattoo guns, inks. There's ways to get inks. Guys make their own inks. I mean, it's high quality work.
What do they make their inks out of?
You can burn different things. You're going to make resins.
With?
Things like checkers.
Oh, okay.
You would burn those, capture the soot. There's a lot of different ways to do it. But I mean, honestly, most guys can order through some sort of hobby craft and get the same inks that they use in tattoo shops.
Oh, wow.
But
okay.
You don't want guys, you got to be cautious, inks are expensive. Guys, if they take ink out, you got to make sure that they're not putting it back in the bottle. So if you're going to get a bunch of work done, invest in get your own needle and get your own ink.
How do you get a needle? You make it?
You can make a needle out of a couple different things. Guitar strings. That's definitely one. I mean, you can fashion a needle out of almost anything, but there are some things that are better than others. Guitar strings work best. What other questions you got?
Talk us through.
Hold on, let me go back to the price. Because
yeah.
paying for it, generally if you're going to pay somebody for it on the inside, you're going to pay with commissary. You can do money send out. I could call you up and be like, hey, that tattoo, you want me to get covered up? This guy's willing to do it for X amount of dollars. Send him $100 and he'll take care of it.
And then I would put $100 on his books.
Exactly.
Okay.
So.
Thank you for the super chat, Josh. What are your thoughts on Kenosha? I grew up 40 minutes. Ooh, we'll get to that in a minute because it's funny.
Kenosha?
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's do the tattoo stuff first.
Okay.
So that's how do you remember how much you paid for it? Or did you pay in commissary?
Man, yeah. I paid in commissary. I got a good deal. I mean, you're talking, this was 20 years ago. I don't remember what the total price was. It was far less expensive than it would have cost me on outside in the shop to get it done.
You got a good deal on
Definitely
commissary
did.
tattoo.
Commissary tattoo.
of a snake.
Oh, yeah.
So talk us
Are you
through.
laughing at me?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I deserve
People
it.
have said they've missed my personality, so she's coming up to play.
Uh-oh.
So, talk us through getting a tattoo in prison because it's not necessarily legal in there, right?
No.
So what goes down?
That's interesting. It depends where you are. Generally most guys that tattoo are, it's going to be up to them to figure out when they want to work. And that's the thing. If you're a good tattoo artist, you basically set your own hours, set your own prices. You've got free reign to do that. And you're going to be very cautious on who the officer is that's working. Generally, most of the artists I know, they're going to go right to the cop. They're going to be like, hey, how do you feel about tattooing? Because most of them are actually okay with it. They're like, listen, if you guys are cool with it, that's what you want to do, don't let me see it. Like, what I don't see, I don't know. And basically we'll turn a blind eye. As I've known other officers, to be honest, that have sat down and let guys tattoo them. Yeah.
Yeah?
For real.
And then how does that go down? Like, can if the other officers see, like, are there snitch officers?
Ooh,
and
definitely.
So what
definitely.
happens there? Do you have to hide, like, behind a shower curtain or something? I don't know.
There
All
are,
the prison shows.
There are no shower curtains in prison.
What do you hide?
What do you hide behind?
Yeah.
No, you're in a cell.
Yeah.
You're going to be working in the cell. And if a guy's tattooing regularly, he's going to have a line. He's going to have something hooked up to where he's got power going. Because otherwise, trying to run off batteries, you're not going to keep a gun going that long off batteries. And besides, it gets too heavy.
How do you hide the sound?
You don't.
You just let it go. What happens if officer snitch walks by and officer tattoos getting one?
That's what I'm saying. You're going to have somebody sitting outside the cell who's holding point, watching. And if cop starts walking, they're going to just tap on the door, get up, walk away. But you're going to take precautions beforehand. You're not going to, if there's an officer. I mean, most of the guys I know, like, they're going to go to the cop and they're going to be like, listen, man, how you feel about this? And if they're like, no, absolutely not. Whatever I see, I'm going to take. They're like, well, all right. I'm not working with this guy, hon.
Got it.
He's not down with it.
Yeah.
So, you got to know the different personalities and how they're going to respond. But for the most part, listen, there's so many other things going on in prison. Tattoos are not really a concern. People just don't care. Now, don't get me wrong. If you go and you get your face blasted, you got fresh ink, and you go to mainline, this is back before COVID, you know what I mean? You show up to lunch with all the administration there, and they see you with this fresh ink on their face, they're going to be like, yo, come here, man. What?
Remember when you got pulled out of visit for showing me your fresh ink?
Oh.
You gotta tell them that. First of all, wait. We got a $2 super chat. Thank you so much for congratulations for no more zooms and wham whams. No more zooms and wham whams.
Yes. No more commissary, man.
What happened the time you were showing me your fresh ink?
Okay, so listen.
You beat me to it because I was going to tell the story while giving myself a temporary tattoo. I have all this stuff at home,
Really?
But you got out before I got a chance to do that. But go ahead.
I guess this fits in. It's not necessarily a tattoo. What I was doing, whenever we'd get ready, whenever I would get ready for a visit.
Looks like I have no pants on. I have pants on. Go ahead.
And a number of things that I wanted to talk about with her, just different ideas. What I'd do is I'd sit in my cell beforehand with my pen and I'd write them out on my leg.
It was so cute.
Right? It's not visible. And so many guys have, they're all inked out. So if an officer sees something, he's not looking that close. You know what I mean? I strip down, taking off all my clothes. You do the little dance, turn around. And if they see something on my leg, nobody's really paying attention to it. So I'd have a list on my leg. Well, it was never an issue until one time I'm out there and I guess they're watching us on the cameras. So the officer comes around, he comes down, he's like, hey man, like, what's going on with your leg? Like, what do you got going on here? Let me see that. And I show him. I'm like, what's the problem? He's like, man, the guy on the camera, wants to know what you keep looking at on your leg.
What'd you tell him? Do you remember what was on there? Because I definitely do.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
What was it?
And this guy, I'm knocking over the camera, I'm laughing, sorry. This guy, what we were working with at that point was doing, remember the credit card guy? His name was Michael Jordan. So,
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Sarcasm over here is like, it's not a tattoo, it's my list. See, number 1, Michael Jordan, not the basketball player, the credit card guy. And then you just kept going down the list. Do you remember now?
I do. I do.
Then he comes back and he was all red and he's like, oh, you got us in trouble. I always got us in trouble.
It was always you. Never me, always her.
I am definitely wearing pants, you guys. I'm just wearing shorts. Go ahead.
So, yeah, that was as close as I've gotten to a tattoo, writing on my leg. And they put an end to that because it was clearly a threat to the security of the institution. So they made me stop writing on my leg. Forced me to improve my memory, that's all.
We got through a lot of years of those
Yeah, we
lists
did.
on your leg.
Yeah, we did that for many, many years.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, thank you for the super chat. I missed it. You two are the definition of resilience. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Oh, I guess I
Thank
missed
you.
another super chat. I'm sorry if I missed one. Okay. Enough about tattoos. You want to talk about any? Oh, wait. So what happens if you get caught getting a tattoo or tattooing?
either one, they'll write you a charge. They'll write you a charge. They could send you to the hole. Usually they're not going to send you to the hole for tattooing. But it'll end up being a charge where you lose your commissary, you lose, visits. Depends on what it is. When you go to DHO, you lose good time, which means it takes you longer to get out. There's another one.
Thank you so much, Josh. Adam, a book is on the way, I'm sure. LOL. Are you writing a book?
Interestingly enough, I'm waiting for the professor to call back. There is one person whom I've worked with, a criminal justice professor out of the University of Pittsburgh for a number of years, and I'm waiting to connect with him. I don't think that he's listening, but if he happens to be listening, man, I'm still waiting on that call back. So
We'll call him back tomorrow. Because you didn't know your phone number to tell. Maybe something happened with the caller ID. So we'll have your phone number ready. Also, I actually just saw a CashApp come through. So thank you. I didn't see who it was from, but thank you so much for the CashApp donation as well. That's really sweet because then we get all of it, and because YouTube takes a large chunk of the super chats. So
Really?
that was really cool too. Yeah. Okay, so you got written up. You go to the hole.
generally don't go to the hole.
Oh.
If you get a charge, it's going to be, it's not a serious charge, but it's enough. Like I said, you can lose your commissary, you lose your phone, you lose your email, you lose your visits. All that sucks, and you lose good time, which means you get out later. So
Stacy was the super chat. Thank you for whoever. I'm sorry, the comments are going fast, but thank you for who said that. Stacy in the super chat wants to know if there's a meaning behind your tattoo.
a meaning behind mine, no.
What made you pick the snake? Thank you for the super chat. They said we inspire them so much.
Honestly, I don't know. Like I said, it was a bit rash, but my whole plan was to get this one small tattoo that I had over my shoulder to get that covered up. And in order to do that, I figured I might as well, if I was going to go on one side, I might as well get the other. And that turned into a whole back piece. That's logical, right?
Of course.
Sure, makes sense.
Adam does nothing big or over the top. Thank you so much for the $9.99, Ellie. There is a meaning behind my tattoo though, and I'd love to know if anybody knows. Let me know in the comments, because that means you are a super fan and you watch my old videos. And plus, it's the Row Show, and some dude just got out of jail and hijacked my channel. Josh said, I don't trust. There's nothing wrong with the Cash App. We actually had somebody confirm that it's, before we signed up for it, that it's completely legit. Sister, what has been the hardest thing y'all have faced since Adam has been home? Love y'all. What's been the hardest? Do you want to go there before we're done with tattoos? Do you know the meaning behind my tattoo?
Is it? I know it has to do with your sisters. I know you and your sisters all have the same tattoo.
Yep.
I didn't know if there was any significance behind the actual tattoo itself.
5 girls, 5 pointed star.
Oh, well.
There it is. Why can't I bend my arm tonight? What's wrong with me? Okay. What's been the hardest thing between us since you've been out?
What's been the hardest thing for us, in my opinion? Honestly, I don't think anything's been hard.
I don't think anything's been hard. I think today we were both a little on edge.
Yeah.
I feel like all day.
I think we were trying to get a lot done.
Yeah.
You know, it's been 2 weeks. We've been on 2-week honeymoon, 2-week vacation, but it's also been a transition. I mean, we've done a lot, you know, and trying to get used to the technology. I don't know. I don't think anything's been that hard. Like, we've been doing really good, keeping each other balanced. Whenever you get hungry, I know it's time for us to stop whatever we're doing. Just put it down. Make sure she gets well fed. But I'm right there with you. You know, I mean, I definitely feel the same way.
Thank you so much, Kylie. She said, pace yourselves. Everything will work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because we both almost had a freak out before.
Well, listen, we're scheduled, or our plan is to leave tomorrow. We did not yet have confirmation that our travel plan was approved.
Yeah, it was getting...
We didn't have confirmation that we actually had a place to head to in Vegas, which we're still not entirely sure, but it looks like we've got something worked out. I hadn't spoken to anyone in Vegas directly about having all of my probation period transferred there. So although all of these things were kind of in the works, we're expected to, you know, begin tomorrow. I guess I was feeling kind of uneasy about that. Like, I'm a planner, you know, like I need...
Me too.
Everybody knows that's not entirely true. I do better with structure. She is by far the more creative, spontaneous one. I need that to keep me from getting too OCD, and I think she can benefit from at least a little bit of my organizational skills and keeping things on track. So together, you know, the last couple of weeks have really been a great opportunity for us to test that balance out. And I think I've gotten spoiled. We get to spend all this time together, and I can't imagine, you know, what it's going to be like when we're not together pretty much all day.
Okay, we got a super chat that I want to address, and then I want to respond to that. So thank you so much for the sweet, adorable super chat. I think it was $5, and she said our hardest challenge is not being able to keep our hands off of each other.
No comment.
One of the comments from the other video said that I seem miserable and you're touching me all the time and I'm never touching you. And in my head, I'm like, I'm touching him. I feel like Michael Santos, because Michael did a video series with Carol, his wife Carol, on this channel. He did 26 years in prison and he got out, and they were together for 10 in and 10 out. So he, for you guys that are new here, they both donated a series to this channel answering your questions. And he said, while he was inside, they said that they would never not be touching when they could finally touch. And he said he took it quite literally. And he was like, always, in the video, like always touching her. And so I feel like Michael Santos, like I'm always touching you. People don't see it, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so here's my response to what you just said about being, me being the spontaneous one and you being the, what'd you say, structured one? How long, oh God, it's the front guy. How long until my spontaneity drives you crazy?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think it's a good balance that we have for each other. Yeah?
Yeah?
You agree?
Sure. I'm not the not that word, sorry.
Oh,
Ow.
sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
Okay.
I appreciate it. I mean, I love your creativity. Um, you know, think of it like this. Like, I make the lines and you get to color it all in,
Good analogy.
right?
Did that just come to you?
Yes.
Awesome. Do you want to talk about Kenosha because we're 30 minutes already.
Well, yeah, just briefly. I don't know. I told you guys from the beginning, like my morning routine revolves around getting up, watching the CNBC investment news, trying to stay out of the politics and all the other madness that's going on. I just don't think that's a healthy way to start the day. So, in attempting to avoid, some of that, I guess I missed out on what was happening in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And when I caught it the other day, I was a little concerned because my family's there, and made some phone calls, and obviously they're concerned. They're concerned by what's happening there. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to affect our trip. There's people that I really want to see there, but I also, I'm not going to do anything that puts either of us, in a bad spot. And right now, with obviously the situation I'm in, we're traveling across country. I'm on supervised release, so we have to be very cautious about what we wade into and where we're going.
Yeah.
So, what do I think about it? I don't know. Like I said, my concern is more personal for us. I don't know, but it doesn't look good. It's kind of, my family that's there, they're frightened by it.
Of course.
Seems pretty extreme. A lot of things getting burned down. I think there's a better way to go about being heard, but I also understand there's a lot of emotion, and when people feel that they're not being heard, that they don't have a voice, it causes them to not just be frustrated, but sometimes to act in a bit extreme manner to get that voice out there. And I know this because, in my past, when I was younger, I definitely responded similarly, over responded to situations, but that never worked out well for me. I'd like to think that I'm a bit more level-headed at this point, and it allows me to disagree with people and do so in a more constructive manner. But man, I've lived in the system for the last 20 plus years, and it's frustrating. There's a lot of obstacles. So, I don't know. There's a lot more conversations that need to be had. A lot needs to change. That's for sure. So, we just got to be cautious about how we go about getting those changes. That's it.
Anything else?
That's it for me tonight. We need to get some sleep.
We need some sleep. We've
We're
got
gonna
a
get
long
on the
day ahead of
road.
us tomorrow. Is that your cousin? Josh said, well said, Adam, well said. Always.
We need to get
Who's
on
your
the
biggest
road.
fan, me or Josh?
Hmm.
Let's show him your tattoo one more time because I never got the whole thing, and then we'll say goodbye.
One more time. You got a hold of it?
Yeah.
All right. Mm. Yeah,
There it is.
that's it.
That's it. Okay.
All right. Good night. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow
Bye, guys. They said it looks painful.
from the road.
I can't get it to close.